Hey everyone, what's up? So it's the final week of October, or final full week. Of course, we do have Halloween next week as well. So the 31st is next Monday, but it's the final week of October. Today is Monday the 24th, and we come in. We haven't been trading the best this month. If I'm completely honest, we're about a little over 30,000 up on the month. We should now, at this moment in time, be about 70,000 up on the month. If we're tracking pro rata to target, we're way behind, way off target. We had a green week last week, just barely. We had a red day on Friday to the tune of almost $8,000, and we finished the week green by the tune of, to the tune of about $5,000 last week. So it's not been the greatest week. And it's certainly, and we've read the previous week quite considerably. So it's not been the greatest 2 weeks over the last 2 weeks. So the final week of the month, we had a really good start to the month in the first week. So we need to put the final week in the same kind of echelons as the first week. Not been that way today. We're green. We're not quite at goal. It's a good green day. Well, every green day is a good day, but it's not quite at goal. I would have liked to have been over goal today, but to be fair, the markets just didn't allow for it. A lot of Chinese stock. If I'd gone short today, there probably could have been a lot more opportunities. But I am a long bias trader, so I tend to prefer to look for the opportunities to the upside rather than to the downside. And today we traded 3 stocks. So we traded, a couple of lower price, low float stocks in Vaxite and SOBR. And we traded a mid-cap stock, one of these Chinese mid-cap stocks in Pinduoduo. And a lot of the Chinese stocks were heavily sold off overnight and looking for the bounce. Alibaba, Pinduoduo, Bilibili, a lot of these Neo, P Autos, a lot of these Chinese stocks sold off overnight. Some of them did make a rally during the day, and I thought, okay, there's not a lot else moving, so I traded Pinduoduo. So pre-market was really where we got the biggest mover on the day. The biggest mover on the day was Vaxite, and at one stage Vaxite was up over 80% on the day and then sold off. Didn't come back at the bell. It was a contender for gap and go, but it gapped. It just didn't go. It wasn't a gap and crap, as some people like to do, where they gap up and then sell off. It's held most of its gains on the day. So as I sit recording this, it's still over 60% up on the day. But none of those gains came after the bell. They all came pre-market, and we were fortunate enough to catch them. Now, if I'm being honest with myself, I should have been a bit more aggressive with this, and we probably should be sat here with about $15,000 in profit with this particular ticker. But I wasn't, and I've only myself to blame for that. But $4,000 day is a good day. 4,200 is where we are. We managed to get just under 3,200 on Vaxite, and I'll show you these trades in a moment. We got 766 on Pinduoduo, and we finished off with $300 on SOBR. That was in Power Hour. I was looking for something to get me to goal in Power Hour and just couldn't find it. So anyway, that being said, let's take a look at the at what actually happened. So today, started trading Vaxite. Now, Vaxite was moving up on good clinical trial results. So it's a good catalyst, good clinical trial results. It was already up at $31, and it started to make a move up. We got this increase in volume here, and it did start to make a move up. So we got in here, and we were able to add to the position. And again, so we only got, I think it was 1,000 shares to start off with, and then we added another 1,000, and 500, and then another 1,000. We ended up with 2,500 shares. We took some profit up at the top here, then added that back as we moved up. We were up about $3,600 realized, and we had a position as it started to pull back and consolidate. I thought, okay, if it breaks the $0.50, $35.50, I'll exit the position while it's consolidating and get out again. So we got to here, and I think I was averaging about 35.65 or 35.67 was my average price, the average cost. Because what I've been doing is taking profit on the way up, adding back, so essentially moving my average cost up. And for about 35.67, I thought, okay, I'll give it 17 cents. We were already at 3,700 up, so I was looking at risking about $700. So I would keep the 3,000. And as we got here, it went up to it went up to 35.67 and then flushed down hard to $35 on the bid. And as it was breaking 35.50, I pressed the exit and got filled bang on $35. So it completely wiped out. We traded this all the way up, and it completely wiped out the profits there. Not to be despondent, we were about at this stage. I think we're about 40, 50 bucks down, slightly in the red. So we traded again in this consolidation period as we started to make new highs. We got back in, and we decided to exit when it just looked like it would just take a bit of profit and get green with the ticker, and it looked like it was going to be, one of those consolidatory days, one of those, give it, take it back kind of thing. It did pull back again to 34.50 on the bid, but where it was 34.50 on the bid, it was still up 35.50 on the ask. So the range on the spread was huge, and that in itself introduces risk. So I was kind of conscious of that, but as it started to make new highs here, we re-entered and started to make moves up. We got up towards $38. We were taking profits along the way. We got up towards $38, and we were effectively locked in our daily goal. We're $5,000 up. We've got the devil horns. It's an exit indicator. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if it breaks 37, I'll hold it for 37. I've taken most of my position off at this stage. And I thought, okay, if it breaks $37, I'll get out. It broke $37, and we exited the position, and we lost about 2K on that move down. We finished a little over 3,000 up. It did try and make another move back up here, but I wasn't convinced. I was thinking head and shoulders, and that's what it's kind of worked out. Head and shoulders is a bearish pattern, and I was thinking head and shoulders. Certainly on the 5 minute, that's what it looked like, and that's what transpired. So we didn't trade this again for the rest of the day, which is a shame because it was a good catalyst, and I was expecting it. I mean, if we go to the open, I was actually expecting it to move up at the open. It didn't. We got a kind of a sell off. Didn't even bounce at the VWAP before then moving back up to $36, and then it sold off. So it wasn't a great candidate for a gap and go. We were 3,200, as I say. 31.80 is where we were in terms of gross profit on the day at this stage. Took the dog for a walk. There was nothing moving up until later in the day. We saw Alibaba and some of the other stocks start to move up, and we saw Pinduoduo starts to make a move up. So this moved up here, pull back, a huge move up. I came back in, was watching this, and I was came back into the market, having a look. We've got a head, shoulder. I'm thinking this is going to sell off, but then it just starts to consolidate. It then started to make a move up a little bit later in the afternoon, and that's when I caught the pop here. So as this moved up here, I was able to trade it. Got in here, it moved up, and then as it pulled back, we exited the position. We got $700 on that. It was kind of very choppy. It started to enter the consolidation phase, and I wasn't too happy trading it any further. So what actually made me get in was this double bottom, and as we moved it up again, pull back, moved up. That's where I got in, and I was able to get this move up here before I started pulling back, and I had a trailing stop in place. So as I said, we managed to get $700 out of that. It's better than a kick in the teeth, certainly. But it didn't quite make the move I was hoping. So it did go up as high as kind of 44.80s before it moved into the close. But it was just one of those difficult trading days. Nothing with volume to trade really. We did trade SOBR safe. This was the last thing that we traded. So coming off the back of trading Pinduoduo, we saw this start to move. It hit the scanners. There was nothing else on the scanners at all. So I was able to trade this move up here, and we got pretty much out at the top here before the close. And that was SOBR safe. And SOBR safe was kind of difficult because the range wasn't great on it. It really wasn't. And it moved up to 390s, and I think we were in at 380. So we got in here. There's a pullback, and as it made new highs, 380. It moved up, started consolidating. I was waiting for this to pop. It got up to 390, but 395 I think was the high on the ask, but it only got up to 390. So I tried to get out of the position. I had 5,000 shares. I tried to get out of the position at 390, but I actually got filled. Just slightly less and made $300, and it was just so pedestrian, so choppy as well, that it just wasn't worth the risk, continued risk, to hold it. So that's where we finished on the day. It is a little bit behind my daily goal, but it's a green day, and it's a good green day at that. So I'm happy enough to start with a $4,000 day to the final week of October. We've got 5 more trading days. We've got quite a bit to catch up on. I really believe that whilst it's possible for us to get to 100K this month, it's highly unlikely. And I say that in earnest. Simply because of where we're actually at on the month. And let's have a look at that. So I think I covered this off last week, where we're actually at. But if I show you my trader view statistics, this is a trader view, and we're currently 37,000 up. So we would have to have a $63,000 week in the next 5 days. Now, actually, that's not quite true. We've had 4,000 today, so let's call it 40. It's round numbers. 40,000, so we'd have to have a $60,000 week. $60,000 week across 5 days, that's $11,000 a day. Can I make $11,000 in a day? Well, I've shown that it's possible. I've had 12, 25, even $60,000 days in the past. So, well, not too distant past either. So it is possible. Is it likely? The way the market is right now, it's a very cool market. It's not a hot market at all. So I'm not optimistic that that's going to be the case. What I would say is that October's not been a great trading month for me. I've not been trading at my best, not performing at my best. And today I was adamant I'm just going to scale into my positions. I'm not going to go swinging. And I think that's where I've been going wrong. I've been spotting the patterns for breakouts. And as we broke out, I've been swinging hard with a decent size, big size in some cases. And we've not been sustaining. The breakouts haven't been sustaining, so they've not been holding up. And as a result of that, I've not been able to take the quick profits, and it's pulled back and end up having a loss. And that's happened quite a lot in the last 2 weeks, where I found myself in a losing position to start off with and having to trade my way out of it. And that in itself is not ideal situation to find yourself in. What I would say is that in October already we made over $100,000 in profits. So nearly $130,000 in profits. Given that October has a target of $100,000 gross profit, the fact that we've actually lost 90,000 is why the whole risk reward piece is off kilter for me at the moment. I look at my K ratio here, which is an algorithm that's based on risk versus reward. A good risk versus reward is 2. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm at 0.72 to 1, my risk reward at the moment, which is not good. Not at all. If I look at my equity curve, it's all over the place. We had our highs, so we had a really good start to the month. We did over $40,000 in the first week. Then we had that substantial drawdown, like $12,000, wasn't too bad, and then a big drawdown, and then we're still not recovered from that. So right now, if I look at the drawdown where we're actually at, we're still $10,000 before today. Knock off the 4, we're still $5,000. So tomorrow, if we're on target tomorrow, we recover the drawdown. We're back up at that 47,000 high. So that's where we're at. We're a little way off the $100,000 goal for sure, but how far off? When I'd say you find it difficult, you're in a bad spot, zoom out, and I always say that. So if you have a bad day, zoom out. You have a bad trade and it didn't go your way, zoom out. Where are you on the day? Does that put you red on the day? If you're red on the day, zoom out. Are you red on the week? If you're red on the week, zoom out. Are you red on the month? And keep doing that. So let's zoom out, shall we? And let's have a look at where we're actually at on the year. So for the year, we're still 30. I keep thinking I'm repeating myself time after time. We're 30K away from that 7-figure number on the gross. That's not the target. 7-figure net is the target. So we're 30K away from that 7-figure number on the gross. We should be able to do that this month. Get over that milestone. It's like a resistance level on the candlestick charts. You're kind of tapping it a few times, and if we look at the equity curve here, we're tapping it a few times here. We've got 975, then 960, then we're up there kind of 978, and now we're up at 978 again. So we need to kind of kick on and get beyond that 7-figure number, so we can actually kick on and get 7 figures as a net number. That's where we are, and we're not in a bad spot. We're averaging 5K a day still. This number's coming down, as you can see. We're averaging 5K a day for the year, which is what I've been looking for as we get into the final stages of the year. If we continue with the 5K average, we should be in a position where we meet that 7-figure goal at the end of the year. I did want to take the last week of December off. It's Christmas week, New Year after that. My birthday's in there as well. But I did want to take that last week of December off. So if I'm going to be able to do that, I want to be hitting goal before I take that week off. So if I can do that either November or early December, then great. So that's where we're up to. We've got 5 trading days left. We've got 5K per day minimum goal that we're setting ourselves. Let's say minimum goal. I mean, I'm happy if a green day, but that we should be doing 5K per day. So we need to be doing at least 25K between now and the end of October. That to give us a chance of hitting this this overall number for the year. So 25K before the end of October. That will take us up to approximately 65K on the month, which means that we've got to make up that 35K between December and November. So it's a tough. I did set myself this goal, and it was an ambitious goal. I did set myself this goal at the beginning of the year. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Day trading isn't easy. It's a very risky career. If you're thinking of becoming a day trader, my first piece of advice to you is don't. Think again. It's very risky. It's very stressful. It can be extremely rewarding, though, financially. But it can be also very mentally and emotionally taxing. So there's a lot of pitfalls. It's a career path that's not suited for everybody. If you're risk averse, absolutely not. You should not become a day trader. The majority of people that try day trading for a living lose money. They lose money long term. 85% of people that trade the stock market lose money long term and are never profitable. So just bear that in mind. If you're planning on giving it a try, day trading, what I would say is maybe think of swing trading. It's a little less risky and probably a little bit easier to learn. But if you're planning on day trading, yes, I can teach you. Check the link in the description if you want me to teach you. But I would really advise that you practice in a simulator first. If you can't get profitable in a simulator when there's no real money on the line and the emotions aren't going to be involved and the psychological aspects are not going to be as big, then if you can't be profitable in a simulator, you're never going to be profitable with real money on the line. So please trade in a simulator first. Don't put real money on the line until you've shown a consistent level of profitability in a simulator, and then start small. By all means, if you're a gambling person, go in and put a YOLO punt on a HKD or whatever it is, and when you lose your money, don't come after me. You know, don't blame me. The majority of people lose money. I've said that already, and there's a number of reasons for that. They don't have a documented profitable strategy, which I do. They don't manage the risk effectively, which you have to do. That's the number one priority. You shouldn't be thinking about profits and gains. You should be thinking about protecting your equity and protecting your position. And lastly, they're not prepared. That gambling mentality that they have is going to lead them into the wrong way of trading anyway. But they come into the market with that wrong mentality, so they don't educate themselves. They don't have a documented strategy that will allow them to be profitable, and they don't manage the risk. And all of those factors combined mean that it's going to be very difficult for them to become profitable. Anyway, that being said, if you do want to become a profitable day trader, practice, and practice some more before you put real money on the line. Okay, that's me done. I'll be back at it tomorrow. We've had a good green day, 4,200 profit today. It's a good start to the week. We've had, in October, we've been, if I look at the days and times that I've been trading in October, Mondays typically haven't been great. This month, I've actually been losing on Mondays. Fridays and Mondays is where I've lost money. So Tuesdays is where I've made the most gains across October. So tomorrow's Tuesday. Will I have a good green day tomorrow? Will I be able to, have a green day to 5 figures, which will be really good and help force some of that drawdown back? We've got to get over $5,000 anyway. We've got to have a four-figure day tomorrow, over $5,000, just to get back into the monthly highs and clear the drawdown that was created 2 weeks ago. So come back, join me tomorrow. I'll be streaming my trading live. I'll be talking my thought process and why I'm entering, why I'm exiting, the patterns that I'm seeing. It's an educational channel at the end of the day. So come and join me live tomorrow, 90 minutes before the market opens. That's 8 a.m. market time, East Coast, New York. It's 1 p.m. here in Dublin, where I'm based, and 1 p.m. in the UK is the same time zone. If you're in a different time zone, work it out for yourself. But come and join me tomorrow. If you have enjoyed this video and this trade recap, please smash the thumbs up button. It really does help me out. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.